Okay, now Gauss theorem. According to this theorem, the surface integral of electric field over a closed surface. What is this surface integral of electric field over a closed surface is 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by that surface. And what is this? This is equal to phi e. This electric flux is phi e, or simply you can write phi, right? This is the charge enclosed by the surface when it is placed in air or vacuum. Yesterday we have started this statement. Let us suppose this is a closed surface and it encloses the charge q and air is present around this charge. So what is the electric flux? It is 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by that surface. Yes, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if we suppose some medium is present here, in place of this air, some medium is present. This charge is enclosed by some medium. So the formula for electric flux become E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon m. What it become? Q by epsilon m. What is this epsilon m? It is the permittivity of medium. Epsilon m is the absolute permittivity of which permittivity? Electrical permittivity of medium, right? Now if this surface include the number of charges, in place of single charge, if we say this enclosed surface having the charges q1, q2, q3, qn up to so on, it includes number of charges, right? Now what is the flux associated with this? Flux associated with this is E dot ds is equal to q1 plus q2 plus up to so on qn divided by epsilon naught. Suppose air is present. If this surface include how many charges? N number of charges. Then here you will take the total charge. Here you will take the total charge q1 plus q2 plus up to so on qn divided by epsilon naught. Is it clear? Is it clear? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, now if okay beta, now if I will say I am doing one question. If there are two spheres, very important, this is a sphere S1, include the charge q, and this is a sphere S2, include the charge 3q. Question is, find the flux associated with these two spheres. Find the flux associated with S1 and S2. S1 and S2, and air is present between them. Can you tell me what is the flux associated with first sphere? For S1, what is the flux associated? It is Q by epsilon naught. What is the flux associated with first sphere? It is Q by epsilon naught, right? Yes, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
For S2, for the surface S2, what is the flux associated with second surface? For second surface,
4q by epsilon
yes,
naught.
it is 4q by epsilon naught. Why? Because the surface S2 include the charge of S1 also, q plus 3q. What it become? Q plus 3q, 4q by epsilon naught. And the ratio is asked. Find the ratio. Phi 1 by phi 2 is equal to q by epsilon naught.
1:4.
Yes, it is 1:4. 1:4. Right? Now in its second part, it is given to you, if a dielectric of, you can write down this question part, second part. This is first part and this is second part. If a dielectric medium of dielectric constant K equal to 3 is introduced or present in S1, इन प्लेस ऑफ एयर अगर हम कहें यहाँ आपने क्या किया, हेयर यू फिल इट विथ सम मीडियम, आपने यहाँ पर क्या कर दिया, सम मीडियम यू हैव इंट्रोड्यूस, एंड व्हाट इज द डाइलेक्ट्रिक कांस्टेंट ऑफ दैट इज इक्वल टू 3. What is the value of this dielectric constant? K equal to 3. K, do you know what is this? This is epsilon r. Epsilon m by epsilon naught. It is equal to 3. Right? Now, what is the flux associated with first sphere? What is the flux associated with first sphere? It is Q divided by epsilon m. Right, beta? It is Q by epsilon m. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Q by epsilon m, and you can write epsilon m as 3 times of epsilon naught. It is Q by 3 epsilon naught, right? This is the flux associated with first sphere when you introduce some dielectric medium. Now we are discussing the proof of Gauss theorem. Very important. Proof of Gauss theorem. I am changing the page. Have you written? I'm
just one.
Okay.
Yes.
This is phi 1 equal to Q by epsilon m, and it is Q by 3 epsilon naught, because K is 3. Q by 3 epsilon naught. Now the next is proof of Gauss theorem. Done? Proof of
Yes.
Yes.
very important proof of Gauss theorem. We want to prove Gauss theorem, right? We want to prove E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. How we will do it proof? Let us suppose this is a charge plus Q. This is a charge plus Q. Around this charge, can you tell me what is the direction of electric field? It is radially outward. Whenever we do the applications of Gauss theorem, then we imagine a Gaussian surface. Let us suppose we want to see the electric field at this point P, and this point P is at a distance r. You consider a Gaussian surface around it. आप इसके चारों तरफ एक क्या कंसीडर करेंगे? Gaussian surface. This is a new term for you, Gaussian surface. What is Gaussian surface? Gaussian surface, you can write down. It is an imaginary surface. It is an imaginary surface at every point of which electric field intensity is same. देखो ये सारे पॉइंट्स, ये जो गॉसियन सरफेस मैंने स्फेरिकल कंसिडर किया, ऑल दीज पॉइंट्स आर इक्विडिस्टेंट फ्रॉम दिस चार्ज, आर डिस्टेंस पे, तो सब पॉइंट पे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी क्या होगी? सेम, राइट? It is an imaginary surface at every point of which the electric field intensity is same. In second assignment, I have given you one question. What is the shape of electric field around a charge? It possesses which type of symmetry? It possesses spherical symmetry. Which type of symmetry? It possesses spherical symmetry, because at these spheres the electric field intensity remain same. Now, what is the direction of electric field due to this plus Q charge at this point? It is radially outward. So you can write electric field intensity, electric field at point P is E, and it is KQ by R square. Do you know K? It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q by R square, and it is radially outward. It is radially outward. O oblique W, it is outward. Now we divide the whole of this sphere into small area element. One such small area element we have taken this one. This is a small area element on the sphere. आप एक ball ले लीजिए, spherical ball, and if you cut it from here, then this is a small area element. What is the direction of this area element? Area vector. It is also radially outward, perpendicular to this. Yesterday we have discussed it. What is the direction of area vector perpendicular to the given area? Now I will take the left hand side. जो आपको prove करना है, left hand side is E dot ds. Gauss theorem की left hand side we have taken E dot ds. What is the angle between E and ds? Can you tell me? E is outward, ds is also outward. What is the angle between E and ds?
90.
Zero.
0 degree.
It is 0. Both are parallel. Angle between EDS is 0. EDS cos 0. Right? EDS cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. And electric field at every point is same. So you can take it outside from the integration. It is ds. Now when you integrate the whole surface, जब आप पूरे surface को integrate करोगे तो sphere का surface area कितना होता है बेटे? What is the surface area of sphere?
4 pi r square.
4 pi r square. So it become E dot ds is E 4 pi r square. Put this value. Okay. अब आपको क्या करना है? What is E? Put the value of E from this equation in here. E कितना है आपका? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square into 4 pi r square. हमने निकाला था ना? इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी ड्यू टू अ पॉइंट चार्ज कितना है इस पॉइंट पी पे? व्हाट इज ई? q बाय 4 पाई एप्सिलॉन नॉट आर स्क्वायर. पुट दिस वैल्यू हियर. तो आर स्क्वायर से आर स्क्वायर कैंसिल, 4 पाई से 4 पाई कैंसिल. व्हाट यू विल गेट इट? q बाय एप्सिलॉन नॉट. कितना आ गया ये? Surface integral of electric field is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed. Is it clear? Is it clear, beta? Is it clear? So we have taken here, this is only for spherical symmetry. Proof of Gauss theorem is only for spherical symmetry. We have to do. It is only in your syllabus, not for other symmetry. This is the plus q charge. Due to this, the field is radially outward. What is the shape of the Gaussian surface? It is spherical. E is outward. Himanshu, is it clear? ds is all.
Himanshu, ma'am. What time Himanshu?
You, 25 roll number. Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am. I understand.
Okay. Angle between EDS is 0. So it is EDS cos 0. It is 1. What is the surface area? It is 4 pi r square. Put the values and it is equal to q by epsilon naught. This proves Gauss theorem. This proves Gauss theorem. Now the next is नहीं, इस बार कोई सिलेबस नहीं बेटा. Next is application of Gauss theorem. Very important. Application of Gauss theorem. Applications of Gauss theorem. Only one application we will do today. Application of Gauss theorem. This Gauss theorem is used to find electric field intensity due to continuous charge distribution. Due to continuous charge distribution. We have to find the electric field intensity due to continuous charge distribution. Do you know continuous charge distribution? Line charge, surface charge and volume charge distribution. So first application is electric field intensity due to a thin infinite charged straight conductor. you have a charged straight conductor. This is a straight conductor, let it be y dash. Its length is very large and it is having the charge q, positive charge it has. So what is the direction of electric field lines? It is radially outward. Is it right? Now we want to calculate the electric field intensity at this point P. First of all, tell me, this is infinite straight conductor. So which type of charge distribution is this? This is line charge distribution. Which type of charge distribution? Line charge distribution, and it has the linear charge density. Linear charge density, that is lambda. And what is lambda? Lambda is equal to charge per unit length. Linear charge density is lambda. Lambda is charge upon length. And we want to calculate electric field intensity at this point P. And this point P is at a distance r from this conductor. ये point P कितने distance पे है? r distance पे. So student,
मैम
हाँ जी,
मैम आपने इसकी यहाँ पे चार्ज के बाद क्या लिखा है? चार्ज
linear charge density.
आपका थोड़ा कुछ दिख नहीं रहा, कट कट गया मैं तो। मैम यहाँ पे ये चार्ज फिर कुछ लिखा है, फिर यहाँ पे कंडक्टर लिखा है बाद में।
Straight charge, straight conductor. Electric field intensity due to a thin infinite charged straight conductor, ST straight conductor.
ओके मैम, ओके।
And the linear charge density is lambda. And what is lambda? Charge upon length. Right? See, this is a, suppose I am using this pen and around this is having the charge q. आपको इसकी चारों तरफ इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड फाइंड आउट करना है, राइट, एट दिस पॉइंट पी. सो यू हैव टू कंसिडर वन गॉसियन सरफेस. तो बताइए, अगर मैं ये सारे पॉइंट्स इक्वली, पहले यहाँ देखो, डायग्राम में देखो, if I will consider all those points which are equidistant from this, तो electric field intensity क्या होगी? Same. और यहाँ पर भी on the left side and on right side, if I will consider the same point, which type of Gaussian surface you will get? Cylindrical. Which type of Gaussian surface you will get? Cylindrical. Is this point clear? Is this point clear? Around this charge conductor, which type of Gaussian surface you get? Cylindrical. Right? In previous case,
फर्स्ट एप्लीकेशन में ये सिलेंडर टाइप या फिर सेकंड एप्लीकेशन?
फर्स्ट एप्लीकेशन ही चल रही है बेटा अभी ये. This is for an infinite long straight conductor. We have to find the electric field intensity. Right? And it has the linear charge density lambda. And what is lambda? Lambda equal to charge per unit length. Whenever you solve the application of this Gauss theorem for any charged conductor or charged body, you have to imagine a Gaussian surface. So here the Gaussian surface is cylindrical. Cylindrical around the straight conductor. So now step 1, how you solve it? Step 1, you will write, because it is a application of Gauss theorem, so you will write E dot ds is equal to q by epsilon naught. This is first equation. Step 2, we have to find surface integral of electric field over this cylinder. आप इस सिलेंडर के लिए निकालेंगे. You assume here 3 surfaces. This is surface 1, this is surface 2 and this is surface 3. आपको मालूम है सिलेंडर के अंदर कितने सरफेस होते हैं? 3. मैं आपको अभी ये पेपर फोल्ड करके सिलेंडर बना के दिखा रही हूँ. This is see, this surface first, जो ऊपर वाला है, this is second surface and this is third surface. हाँ जी,
कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा मैम.
किस में नहीं दिख रहा बेटा? लिखा हुआ दिख रहा है. इज इट विजिबल?
अच्छी तरह नहीं दिख रहा मैम.
क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है? टेल मी.
देखो स्क्रीनशॉट लेके भेज दो.
E dot ds over a full surface, it is supposed to be made up of 3 surfaces, first, second and third, right? So you can write it as E dot ds over first surface, E dot ds over second surface, E dot ds over third surface, because this Gaussian surface is supposed to be made up of three surfaces. First upper one, second curved, and third one is this. What is the direction of electric field around it? Electric field is radially outward due to a positive charge. Electric field कहाँ है?
देखो भेज दिया मैम स्क्रीन शॉट है बट देखना
Electric field, Shauryam, now stop talking. After this class I will see. Electric field is radially outward. Electric field is radially outward. Now can you tell me what is the area vector on first surface? On first surface, what is the direction of area vector?
परपेंडिकुलर
Perpendicular to this. What is the angle between them? What is the angle between them? Yes. For first surface, what is the angle between E and ds? 90 degree. For first surface, E dot ds is E ds cos 90. It is cos 90. For second surface, this is the area vector. Area vector is perpendicular to the given surface. What is the angle between them? E ds cos 0. For third, what is this? It is in downward direction. What is the angle between them? 90. It is E ds cos 90. This is for third, this is for second, and this is for first. Yes, is it clear? Pranjal, is it clear? Pranjal is there. Akshat, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
मैम एक बार दोबारा बता दो ये
देखिए, for first surface, it is this cylinder is supposed to be, if I will say this is a paper cylinder, first surface is this circular, second is this, second one is curved surface, third one is this one, right? तो first surface में ये straight conductor इसके अंदर से जा रहा है तो इस पे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड कहाँ होगा? इट इज़ आउटवर्ड. ये क्या होगा? आउटवर्ड, जहाँ मैंने पेंसिल शो की, राइट? और उसका एरिया वेक्टर कहाँ होगा? अप. व्हाट इज द एंगल बिटवीन ई एंड डी एस? इट इज़ 90 डिग्री एंगल.
90, ma'am.
हाँ, तो cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. This term is 0. This third term is also 0. Only there is a contribution due to second surface. So E dot ds become E at every point of which remain same, and ds over cos 0 is 1. This is for second. Can you tell me what is the curved surface area of cylinder if its length is L? अगर एक सिलेंडर की लेंथ L है तो उसका कर्व्ड सरफेस एरिया कितना होगा?
2 pi RL.
2 pi RL. What is its curved surface area? 2 pi RL. Now in step 3, put this value in equation number 1. Put this in equation 1. E dot ds over the full surface is E 2 pi RL Q by epsilon naught. E 2 pi RL Q by epsilon naught. Now I am writing here, आप उसके नीचे लिखना because I don't have the space, so that's why I am writing here after this step, right? What is lambda? Lambda is charge per unit length. So can I write lambda as Q upon L?
Ma'am?
Yes.
मैम एक बार स्टेप 2 दिखा दीजिए.
Step 2 is this one, E dot ds over whole surface.
Yes, ma'am.
First, second and third. This cylinder is supposed to be made up of 3 surfaces. This is first surface, this is second surface, and this is third. आपको मालूम है in cylinder there are 2 flat surfaces and 1 curved surface. Now due to this first surface, what is the electric field intensity? It is outside, बाहर है, plus charge है. And what is the area vector on this? Upward. What is the angle between them? 90. So it is E ds cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. due to the second surface. What is the direction of electric field? Outward. What is ds? And what is the angle between E and ds? It is 0. So E ds cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. For third surface, E is outward and ds is downward. Again here, what is the angle? 90. Cos 90 is 0. So due to first and due to third, EDS component is 0. Only the second surface is there. And what is this second surface? EDS over whole surface. And what is the curved surface area of cylinder? If its length is L, 2 pi r L. बस अभी हमने यहाँ ये वैल्यू पुट की EDS की इधर, E into 2 pi r L equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now we know that lambda equal to Q upon L. So what is the value of Q become? Lambda into L. Put it in this equation. इसमें equation number 2 कर लीजिए. Put it in equation number 2. So E into 2 pi r L is equal to lambda into L by epsilon naught. Q की जगह मैंने क्या पुट किया? Lambda into L by epsilon naught. This L get cancel out. What is E become? Lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught into R. E is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught into R. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Rishabh, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So what does this shows? This shows that E is inversely proportional to R. E is inversely proportional to R. Means when this point P, when this observation point, इस point पे हम क्या find out कर रहे थे? ये point P था. At this, as this point move away from this conductor, तो electric field क्या हो रहा है आपका? Decrease. Electric field intensity क्या हो रही है? Decrease. If I will say plot the graph between E and R, E और R के बीच में ग्राफ प्लॉट करें, कैसी शेप आएगी? Yes, please tell me. What is the shape of the graph between? It is curve.
Hyperbola.
It is hyperbola. E और R के बीच में ग्राफ प्लॉट करें, it is like in this way. Right? Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to learn this formula directly. And suppose if this infinite straight conductor having the negative charge, if this infinite straight conductor having positive charge, field is radially outward. Field,
कर लिया मैम.
yes, ये आपने कर लिया. If this having, it is radially outward. If this have negative charge, what is the direction of this field? It is
Inward, ma'am.
inward. It is radially inward. Yes. Is it clear, beta? Okay. Next application we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you. And tomorrow you have to revise the Gauss theorem and its proof and tomorrow we will discuss the remaining application. Thank you.